Welcome back. Looks like most Americans shopped for gifts from home this holiday season. Despite the shorter holiday season, online sales hit a record high. A report by MasterCard shows e-commerce sales jumped more than 18% from November 1st through Christmas Eve in 2019 versus the same time period last year. Deals on Cyber Monday also contributed to the increase in sales, with shoppers spending $9.2 billion on online goods.
Okay, so what to do with that $9.2 billion, right? A lot of people overspend during the holidays, but don't worry, because right here at Fox 11, we want to help.
Local financial pro Cory Chapman from EFC Wealth Management joins us now with advice to get your budget back on track. Everybody's ears perking up. We all need this advice. How are you, Cory? Thank you for coming in this afternoon. So let's talk about just what you have to do. So how bad is this? How much debt are we in?
You know, the very first thing you got to do is assess the damage, you know, like anything. Make sure you understand exactly where the damage is at, get a sense of understanding of where your damage is coming from, and start to build a budget around it. So if you go to our website, EFC Wealth Management, we have a resource section on there. You can have a budget worksheet, kind of put everything in order, kind of figure out where your damage is coming from.
Okay, give me something practical and useful, because a lot of people out there, maybe they're still paying off last year's Christmas and holiday and Hanukkah and those presents, and then, oh, it's another one that rolls around, and people are just paying that minimum on their credit card every month, and they're just paying the man, right? How do you, it's overwhelming and daunting.
It is, you know, and here's what I always say, let's go plastic free. What does that mean? Put that credit card out of your pocket, pull it out of your purse, put it in the drawer.
Freeze it, a block of ice in the refrigerator.
Exactly, whatever it takes. But the good thing is, in order to pay off that debt, we have to be able to start paying our payments down. And the only way we can do that is by, of course, paying the debt off. Well, if you're using the credit card constantly and over, you never get that debt paid off. So we want to start focusing on a process to help you do that. Now, there's a couple of different approaches. You could use what's called the avalanche approach, where you basically go out there and pay the credit card with the highest interest rate first. Or you could use what's called a snowball effect, where you basically pay the credit card that has the lowest debt first. Now, I like a combination of both. You should try to find the credit card that has the highest interest rate with the lowest debt on it and pay that down first, and then pay the systematic payments monthly and do that again on every other credit card you do that with.
But just also make sure that you're paying all your other bills first, and then I like how you plan this out. Make sure you're making that budget, that worksheet you talked about.
Correct.
Make that budget, but make sure at the end of it, that extra money you have, part of that is going to pay off the debt. You have to plan that out.
Most definitely. You know, one of the things that we don't do well is that we don't focus on paying our bills in advance, right? So we know how much we're paying. So at the end of the day, when you start doing that, one of the challenges you could do is called debt consolidation by doing a credit card balance transfer.
Are you for those? Or does that just kind of move it from one pile and put it in another pile?
Well, it depends. You know, you have to figure out what the credit card payment and interest are going to be, if it's going to put you in a better position or not, and that's a big part of that process. So if it puts you a better opportunity to consolidate those debts all into one credit card, maybe it's easier for you to maintain the cash flow that you're paying.
But what about the interest rates for that? Does that increase the interest rate? Because now you've piled in all that money in one lump sum.
Correct. So one of the things you want to figure out is when you do that balance transfer, you want to kind of make sure that the interest rates are going to be at those nominal fees that give you a much lower interest rate, so therefore you can hopefully pay the credit card down faster.
My experience, just speaking for myself, most people out there, I think, if your credit limit is $5,000, you're going to owe $5,000.
Right, exactly.
If your credit's $10,000, and then the credit card companies, they won't tell you. They're just, hey, congrats, we raised your limit. And then guess what? Oh, sweet, I can go buy that new whatever, fill in the blank, right?
TV, whatever it might be. Right, exactly.
So, biggest mistake you think people out there make is what?
You know, I don't think they're paying attention to what the interest rates are out there. I think, unfortunately, we're not looking at what we're paying. We get caught up in those teaser rates, thinking that we're going to pay it off at the end of those 3 months or whatever it's going to be. Then all of a sudden, that teaser rate goes away, and all of a sudden it hikes up 20 to 25%, and now you're stuck with that much higher debt. Exactly.
And you learned that the hard way. I had to learn that 18, my first credit card. First time I had to pay the interest rate, $100. I was in shock. So how do I make sure, we talked about how I like spending a lot of money for my family in the holidays. How do I make sure I don't get in debt again next year and learn my lesson? You
know, the best thing you can start doing right now is create a savings plan for holiday spending for next year. It comes around really quick. Now, it's easy to do. It's called pay yourself first, right? So automatic savings, you can actually have a certain amount of money come right out of your checking account every month. 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks starts to add up over time. This time next year, you won't be repeating the same problem.
It doesn't have to be overwhelming, one step at a time. And we just learned Vanessa Borge is a very generous gift giver.
I am a very generous gift giver.
I'd like to get on that list. Cory, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, for more financial advice from Cory, you can check out his Facebook page at EFC Wealth Management, all one word.
There you go.